Welcome everyone back to a new episode of Gravity Well Research, and today I'm going to be looking at the extremely powerful storm known as the Typhoon coming towards Japan. And I have an article here it's called Typhoon Haishen barrels towards Japan in the North Korean peninsula, as an article I'm reading from CNN by Helen Reagan, Junko Orgura, and Jake Kwan. So here I have on the image of the gravity well map the storm as it's heading towards landfall, and you can see here without the weather is what the gravity well map looks like. And this is based on the ancient Great Circle maps, like the kind used by Perry Reese. They're known for their accuracy. You can see that when you turn on the different layers of the map, it definitely outlines the land quite well. Alright, so for today's show, we won't be focusing on the gravity well maps in general, just the area in Japan. So I'll bring back the storm. Then after we check out Japan, I'll look at the other regions of the globe and see how the gravity well map and the storm pattern is interacting with them as well. Right, to read more of the article by CNN. Hundreds of thousands of people have been evacuated out of the path of a powerful typhoon that's expected to make landfall in southwestern Japan on Sunday. Typhoon Haishen has sustained winds of 195 kilometers per hour, 121 miles, and gusts over or up to 240 kilometers per hour, or nearly 149 miles per hour. The equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane in the Atlantic. Yeah, so Category 3 is pretty massive. It's like, I think the biggest I've seen in my lifetime is Category 5 maybe? Let me check. It's the second powerful storm to hit the region in a week. Typhoon Mayask, the equivalent to a Category 4 with winds of 130, followed a similar path to Haishen. Haishen hit Ryukyu Islands off Japan's southwestern coast on Sunday, bringing strong winds and heavy rain to the region, knocking out power to thousands of homes. The storm is currently near the island of Kagoshima Prefecture and will track north toward the west coast of Kyushu Island from Sunday night through Monday local time. So right now, I'm speaking to you at 10 a.m. on Sunday in Eastern time. Right. The JMA said that Haishen has weakened slightly, but is still urging maximum caution for heavy rain, strong wind, high waves, and tidal surges. Let's hope it doesn't cause any more nuclear disasters like Fukushima. Right. It says that over 240,000 people have been evacuated, according to the Japanese public broadcaster. A further 36,000 people have been evacuated. More than 200,000 households are out of power, and 4,000 households in that region. More than 500 flights were cancelled. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be, a man shops near empty food shelves at a convenience store. It shows empty shelves. So that's a pretty intense article there by CNN. I hope that everyone listens to the authorities if you're in that region or any region, and make sure to try to stay safe. Alright, next what I'll do is I'll look at the gravity well patterns around the rest of the globe and see how the weather is being interacting. We can see this storm cell has made the arch over the gravity well in northern Asia. We notice that this gravity well is often very active. The one in this region is rather bland, no major formations around it. It looks like the gravity well on that side of the North Pole. It's got quite a bit of circular patterns going around it today. North America, we have the Great Well gravity well, which has quite a big storm around it. It's bringing a mixture of cold and hot weather to my region. I live right here. Earlier in the week, we had the hurricane, or that was last week, and that was that gravity well there was spinning around quite a bit. Alright, we see these storm cells seem to be continuing on a track that direction. The North Pole's got a lot of artifacture this week. Not very complete maps. They're hit and miss when it comes to the data in that region. Alright, let's check out the gravity wells. This is the Schwabenland or Atlantis gravity well. It's got a fair bit of activity swirling around it today. The opposite, yesterday we were checking out the Zealandia gravity well. It had quite a lot of spinning around it yesterday. Not so much today. Oh, it looks like we have a line emanating from the South Pole today. Normally the line clouds emanate from Northern Asia. We'll check it out today and see what color it maps. So usually it aligns with the red. I haven't checked this one out yet, so it'll be interesting to see how it reacts. I think we just had an update there. These are live images. Oh yeah, we can see this line cloud is pretty much perpendicular with that red line there. I don't know, I haven't figured out yet why the gravity well lines red layer seems to map with these line clouds so accurately, but maybe one day we'll be able to solve it. If any viewers has any information on that, let me know. And if any of the viewers haven't heard of Zealandia before, oh, we can see that cloud line is following that gravity well path pretty accurately. There's a continent that's just like Italy, but much larger, and it has the shape of a boot. And the gravity well in the arch of the boot just so happens to be the mirror image of the Atlantis one. So I'll give everyone a look at what Zealandia looks like if you haven't seen the continent before. This is what the continent would look like if the ocean's levels were slightly lower. We'd have a giant continent bigger than the US, the size called Zealandia. And that's where the gravity well is. Yeah, so you can see the remnants of Zealandia are still there. But I'll turn it off for today. We don't really need to cover too much on Zealandia. Alright, let's check out any other line cloud formations that we have going. We checked out the North Pole, Asia, Europe. The gravity well around Europe was actually quite active yesterday with the big storm spinning around it. Doesn't seem to be one there today. Or it's dissolved mainly. Yeah, so the Atlantis gravity well is still pretty active. It's pulling the clouds around it pretty well. Now I noticed when we have bad hurricanes in North America, in the Gulf, usually this gravity well pattern system is very active. Now sometimes I get asked by viewers questions, how did I get started working on gravity wells? And really it happened to me where I had a bad concussion accident at work, and I spent a lot of time off work working on computers alone in isolation, and one of the projects I started working on was gravity wells. And I noticed that the more I dug into it, the more I found out ancient times people used these gravity well maps all the time. They didn't have them as complete as we do thanks to Google Earth, but they used the basic same principle of great circle lines, lines that go across the entire planet rather than just shrinking them. And then using the same distance that we use on our modern maps today of measuring the, the equinox, solstice points, what do they call them? The tropics, the tropic lines. Yeah, so you just fill them in with great circle lines instead of the smaller ones. And that's what the map looks like when you're done. Alright, so to finish up the show today, well, I'll place it back where we have the big storm going. And we'll take a look at it in detail as the storm spins. And I'll just get a quick hit from the vape. On today's vape menu, I have a little bit of my homegrown weed. I'm here in Canada, so we're allowed to grow 4 plants. And I like to take a little vape while I check out the gravity well maps. Let's do a little bit more of a zoom in. Now I noticed the eye of the storm yesterday was much more defined. At least the storm is somewhat let off. And I'm vaporizing on the modified Extreme Q using the modification that I developed. With the help of a team of people. Alright, so yeah, I think the gravity well map, it seems like this line here is going to feed in some more energy from there. I could check out the earthquake situation and see what it's been looking like lately. I noticed it's been a very quiet year so far for earthquakes. Alright, so that's what we have for that. You can see the earthquake region in there is very active, but not so much lately. I know some people have been asking for updates about what the earthquake activity has been like with the gravity wells in the United States recently. We'll check it out. Now I noticed when I was looking at the old complete maps, some of the data has been removed since on gravity wells or off the earthquake historical data. But if you add in the blue layer, the 2 X's with the blues here on the historical data used to show a lot of activity around this X, and in the center. So I was thinking this was the old New Madrid quake. So if this one ever becomes active again, I'm assuming the New Madrid quake epicenter will be somewhat orbiting around this region. And I found earthquakes usually orbit around the gravity wells rather than directly over the center. Just like black holes work. Now this region here has been quite active still. New Mexico, a lot of smaller quakes there. I think there was a region in, Idaho. This gravity well line here has been very active near the Salmon River Mountains. Oh yeah, and I was trying to figure out what is this black mark that's here. I noticed that there's a gravity well there and there. So I tried to look here and I was like, what the hell is that Black Hills? And I found out that's I'm pretty sure where Mount Rushmore is, right? So that's why this region is so active with the blackness. It's the gravity well formed around it. Alright, so I won't make today's gravity well episode too long. Let me just get to a few of the referral links that help me make my show possible. We have here my Patreon, and if you want to donate to that and join my other patrons, I really appreciate it. We have a Society 6 store here, which I'm going to get some gravity well themed shirts on eventually. I think, that's one of the main things I'm going to be adding soon. But for now, finishing quick is my specialty, is the shirts that I have. It also comes on slogans on other items like bed sheets, and that's a very popular saying with the ladies. And then the Swag Bucks is a place where you can get discount codes online. And not discount codes, but actual percentages off. For some reason, I always say discount codes. And then GameKit is the one where you can get paid to be a gamer. So if you want to get paid to try out games, I highly encourage you to try that. Or Entropia Partners. Entropia Partners is another one to get paid to play games. It's very good. Hideout TV will pay you to watch videos like YouTube. And Bitcoin will pay you in, the Bitcoin lottery. I have a Bitcoin lottery link below. If you click that, you get a free spin every hour, which helps out my show, gets you tickets into the lottery, and gets you a little bit of Satoshi. Satoshi is the little mini Bitcoins you have to save up to equal 1 full Bitcoin, if you can save up enough. Right now I'm at over 20,000 Satoshi thanks to the help of many referrals. So I appreciate everyone. Anyone who doesn't have the money for Patreon right now, I understand the hard economic times, but the Bitcoin lottery is a great one. Can help you, help me. Speaking of which, we also have the Virtual Mate. It's a sex toy only for adults and only for men right now. But ladies, if you need a sex machine in the meantime, you know who to call. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, yeah, so I'll summarize and finish up the show. Thanks everyone for watching. If you happen to get something stuck in your vaporizer, such as a piece of gravity well throwing in a hurricane salt water into your vaporizer, then give the show a dislike. But if that doesn't happen, you can give it a like. I really appreciate it. And hope everyone stays safe in the hurricane, and make sure that you never purchase the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll put a button for it in 2 videos. One's got more information on gravity wells.